Previously on Up at Noon.
Hey, Andy, sweetie! What's that you're drawing?
I'm drawing a map.
A map? But that looks like a close-up of my eyes?
That's exactly right, Peach. A close-up of your eyes, because I could find myself getting lost in them.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Up at Noon. If you have no idea what that was, go to YouTube, search Andy Sweetie. It's a popular internet video. That was Anthony Gallegos' last appearance on anything IGN related. Boo, I know. So he's heading to Seattle. Brian and I are heading to a box of tissues to cry about it because we are huge babies and love that guy. We got a big show here today, though. Let's stop being sad. What do you say? Brian Altano teaches Miss Bynes how to smoke weed without getting caught. And the legendary Nolan North returns to spill the beans about what it's like to star in the upcoming Deadpool game. But first, the news you care about. 8.5 million people tuned in to watch the Xbox One reveal. In related news, 8.5 million people now hate the Xbox One. But it controls your TV. Reports are stating that Xbox One's Kinect camera is not only always on and always recording you, but that it is also constantly sending your personal data back to Microsoft. And look, this is getting blown out of proportion. I know this sounds bad, but seriously, what's the worst thing they could see me doing in my own living room?
Don't feel up.
I can't wait to drink all of this milk.
You ever think about going gay? And Nick and I have been in love ever since. After 5 months, Peter Molyneux's ambitious Curiosity Cube game has finally come to an end, and we here at Up at Noon were the first news outlet on the scene to see what's inside.
Finally, I get to see what's inside the cube.
Why did it take you so long to get in here? Merc has been dead for weeks. Molyneux!
Hard to believe that is our social team and not a trained group of actors. Mind-boggling, huh? A Time Cop reboot is in the works. In it, Time Cop travels back in time and kills everyone who decided to make a Time Cop reboot. Now that's an underrated movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme. I saw it at Mike Boylan's house. There's this sex scene in it with Ferris Bueller's ex-girlfriend, but Mike Boylan's dad had to hold an Afghan up in front of it because he forgot it was in there. We were young. And then when he gets at the end, he gets in the car and he says home, and he drives. It goes to a different home, and it's like Ferris Bueller's ex-girlfriend still alive. Awesome. And then of course, the best part is when they're in the shopping mall scene again. Ferris Bueller's ex-girlfriend, and the guy steals the purse and starts running, and he turns around, and Jean-Claude Van Damme stands up, and he's got his leg up like this, and he goes, "Read between the lines. Read between the lines." I should give the purse back, and he goes and gives the purse back. Resident Evil themed attractions are coming to the Universal Studios theme park in Japan. Let's hope they involve a lot of that green herb that we can use to heal ourselves. Because everybody knows that going to a theme park is way more fun when you're healed out of your mind, man. And man, if you stare at the Universal Studios logo long enough, it's like it's totally obvious that Bush did 9/11. I just look at it. It's like I am hungry. And anybody have the Chips Ahoy cookies? I think they're called Chips Ahoy because it's like ships ahoy, like anchor ships, and the ship is my mouth. And the cookie, man, it's like this tasty pirate, and it's just in the brain. It's just something to think about, man. Marijuana jokes. Also, fun fact, we looked through the IGN prop closet for a Rastafarian hat for this joke, and while we did not find one, we did find the most racist mustache ever. Hit it. freaking easy, Chinaman. This is not a joke. This is an actual thing that someone at IGN bought with IGN money. I blame and simultaneously thank Scott Bromley. And finally, in more weed-related news, after a series of public meltdowns and bizarre Twitter photos and rants, Amanda Bynes was arrested for throwing a bong out the window of her New York apartment. To put a stop to her wily ways, here is IGN's life improvement coach, Brian Altano. Brian!
Thank you, Greg. Amanda Bynes, I'm here to help you. And since I work for IGN, I'm going to do it with a list. Here are the top 5 ways Amanda Bynes should smoke weed better. Number 5. Amanda Bynes, if you like getting stoned in enclosed areas like hotel lobbies and moving cars, you would love a house. Yep, just a house that you have. Not a house full of cops or a house that you can drive drunk. Just a house that you bought with your tons of money from being on TV for decades. Because you were. Number 4, try not looking like Eminem. I know you dressed up like a man in the movie She's the Man with Channing Tatum, but of all the men to dress up like in real life, don't pick Eminem. Eminem never goes out of the house anymore, probably because he has a house to get high in. So when cops see a guy that looks like Eminem walking around stoned, they're like, hey look, it's Eminem. Let's arrest the shit out of him. And then Amanda Bynes goes to jail. Crazy. Side note, hey Channing Tatum, do you want to trade abs for a year? Because I could use yours to pick up chicks, and you could use mine to lay on your stomach and spin around like a top. Offers on the table. Number 3, don't go on Twitter when you're stoned. Yeah, ever. Don't ever do that ever. You have 1.5 million Twitter followers. That's a lot of people seeing the insane things happening inside of your head unless you decide to keep them inside there like normal people do. Twitter is for fat comedians like me to write failed jokes or for fat hosts like Greg to promote failed shows about eating Oreos.
Probably because I have a house. YouTube.com/GameOverGreg.
Number 2, when you go to buy pot from your pot dealer, make sure what he's selling is spelled pot like P-O-T and not pot like P-C-P. Those are very different things. Pot makes you stay home and watch 11 episodes of Darkwing Duck while eating a whole bag of Parmesan goldfish. PCP makes you go outside and have 11 episodes of pretending you're Darkwing Duck while eating a whole bag of real goldfish. Shot in the dark here, but it's a little better to wake up covered in crumbs than it is to wake up covered in the blood of the strangers you sacrificed to an imaginary demon god in your mind. And number 1, don't give your weed to your plastic surgeon. People make the worst art when they're stoned. Hey man, I made a bong with a wizard on it and a skeleton having sex. Yeah, that's art. Hey man, I made a picture of Obama, the Rasta, that says, yes, we cannabis. DaveFenoy.com. And hey man, I made a former child actress look like the female gremlin from Gremlins 2. That is, unless you're working on Gremlins 3, because I would totally watch Gremlins 3. Like 8 times in a row. Because I have a house.
Brian Altano, everybody. I'm glad we could clear the smoke out on that one. Speaking of clearing the smoke out, worst Greg way ever. I'm not even pushing papers for that one. My next guest is here to do just that for the upcoming Deadpool game. Give it up for the voice of Deadpool himself, Nolan North. Nolan North.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm crazy.
So it took us like 75 episodes to get you back the first time,
right?
And then like 3 more for you to come back again.
Yeah, well, it's
you loved it so much you wanted to come back.
I
celebrate?
do. I needed those little bags of peanuts on the flight up here.
Yeah, that's what it was all about. You were out. And your
I collect them.
Gone.
I do.
So last time you were here, you were talking about this game Marvel Heroes, in which you play Deadpool.
Yes.
However, there's like a million characters in that game. Out tomorrow. But now you got this other game coming up. Called Deadpool.
Oh my goodness!
And
you're kidding.
You're Deadpool
like the
in
shirt?
Yeah, look at that. That's a good. You did it well. You tied it in.
Huh? Those are not eggs. They're not. No. It could be eggs. Yeah, big game. A lot of fun to make. This is,
June 25th. It's finally coming out. It's this Deadpool game. It was an unexpected one, I think, for Deadpool to get his own game on his own. He's an up and coming. He's real popular with the comic book kids.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is the first time Deadpool was voiced, apparently, was me. It was Hulk vs. Wolverine, the movie that we did. And I remember that they had it, it had been recorded already. And then I did Wolverine and the X-Men with this group of guys, and Deadpool didn't come out the way they wanted it. And they knew, the things I say off camera sometimes.
So does this entire audience.
Yeah. They knew the things that I said, so they asked me, they brought me to the booth, and it's actually at the end of the video. They said, okay, don't worry about the script. We're going to show you the video and just say things.
Yeah.
And I've never had that kind of direction. I mean, you don't get that. And I said, all right. And we ad-libbed so much of it. And things like, Wolverine, I'm going to shoot you in the ass, and all kinds of crazy stuff. And, like, how about we'll go kill those floating babies was another line in that movie. And it was just because it was clones and pods.
Yeah.
It wasn't like actual children. And it wasn't animated. No, it was live action. It was a live action show. And the babies actually died.
Wow. Real babies. You don't see enough people use real babies.
I'm back.
Okay,
I'm
good.
back. Anyway, that's what we did, and that's when I actually learned about what Deadpool, what he was all about.
Yeah.
So
and you're like, oh, he's as crazy as I am.
Well, not that much, but he does have a murdering streak that I only had in the '80s. So much drugs. But the point is, good drugs, not Amanda Bynes. And you really, your boy should not pick on PCP because a lot of good things have happened on PCP.
You might want to check the Wikipedia page on that. I'm not sure if that's
that's one to grow on. I don't do a lot of corporate events. So the thing is, when they came to me with this game and we were talking about it, because I love doing that character because he's just off the wall, and I love the characters that break that fourth wall. And in this game he does, and it's the basic Deadpool sounds just like this. Hi everybody, let's go, let's have some fun. And then there's the one who just wants to talk about boobies, and then the one who has to be a little more rational. And they each talk to him in his head. And everybody else, the other characters in this game, are just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And then he'll just turn and talk to the audience. And the great thing about this game is it makes absolutely no apologies for what it is.
Yeah.
It breaks the fourth wall. It's filthy. It's funny. And I think it's going to be the sleeper hit of the summer.
No, there you go. I like that. Yeah.
Providing Activision prints enough, because we're going to need 16 to 17 million copies of this.
No,
I'm not funny.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
God, wouldn't that be awesome? I don't care. I don't get a piece of it. But the point is,
game can burn in hell.
it's like here's your scale and your T-shirt, punk. Said them to me. But
a lot of kids in Middle America looking up scale right now.
Yeah, I don't know where Middle America is. It's like west of Memphis, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know where I am. But
I wonder how you got cast as the character that jumped around and did whatever.
No, that's what he does, though. Thank you. It's an illness. It's really means a lot.
So is this one of those things, would you be happy playing Deadpool every time it comes up? I always talk to my friends about it, right? Like if I was talented in any way, and one of them was voice acting, and I was like, oh, you get to be Superboy or Superman or whatever, I'd be like, yes, anytime you need it, I will work for this thing called scale or whatever. I will do whatever I need to do.
Sure, yeah.
Do you have that kind of attachment to him?
I do. Actually, one of the, after we had done that movie and it got such, I remember a great voice actor, Fred Tatasciore, who's a buddy of mine, he came back from Comic-Con where they showed that movie, and he said people went nuts for Deadpool, and I had no idea the following that he had. And when they did there was another game that Deadpool was in.
Shattered Dimension, Spider-Man Shattered
There you
Dimensions.
go, and they were going to cast for it, and I called him. I said, I remember telling him, no. And one of the guys that I was working with was working on it. I said, I'll do it. I want to do Deadpool. He says, really? I said, yes. Mm-hmm. So so I've kind of weaseled my way into keep to doing this because I do enjoy it. it's completely schizophrenic, off the charts, and we'll make her pass through some of the lines, and then they'll just say, okay, now just say whatever you want. And it's just, and I think we could make a second game on the things that we didn't use. I mean, there's things in there that just, I'm hoping Activision and Marvel and all the other legal parties that are involved in the game will allow it to get through. I mean, I got to give a big credit out to Terry Spire and Dave Cravens, all these guys down at High Moon that just did a phenomenal job with this game and the writing, even the stuff that we got through. You know,
That's awesome.
I think it's going to be. I think Deadpool fans will love it. I think it's just, again, it's no apologies. It's funny. It's irreverent. It's really irreverent.
Right. Well, it's out June 25th.
Yes, it is.
We have a trailer. Let's see it.
Oh yeah, check it out.
Get out!
Rachel, any second now, security guard is going to be here. Now, you can either go on your own, or you can be escorted out. Either way, you are leaving.
I will never hurt her the way you will. You can't tell me you won't.
Don't worry, Rachel. I'll take good care of your little girl. Hey, it's okay. Hey, no one's going to hurt you anymore. Not while I'm around.
That's great.
I'm
sorry.
That wasn't Deadpool. That was you on Port Charles.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it was a soap opera, I think.
Now listen, I'm just. Oh, good. Your reservation in hell is confirmed.
All right.
What you don't know is your flight's at 6. I mean, it's like.
What? That was great.
Oh,
the
it's
kiss
like
at the door.
Did
you ad-lib that?
I don't
was
remember.
Awesome.
I don't remember. Again, the drugs in those days were awesome.
You were here recently. We've talked about that.
Why do I come up here?
Some big things have happened since you were last here, and I know it's only been a short time, which is crazy. This movie Star Trek Into Darkness comes out.
Oh my God!
I'm eating the popcorn. I'm watching. You walk on screen.
I do.
You're in that Star Trek.
You
got a line.
Yes, I got a line in the movie.
How did that happen?
I was on Port Charles. I was doing some work.
J.J. Abrams was a script
and
there.
They found out I have no gag reflex, and they said, "You want to be in Star Trek?" I was like, "Yeah," and they said, "Awesome." Okay, so the true Star Trek story is I did some voice work on Super 8, and just some of the screams and just some of the different things, and I didn't even realize it, but J.J. Abrams was directing the session. I just had no idea what he looked like, and and in the middle of the session, one of my friends who was working with me said, we did a big scream, and he said, "Hey, easy, Drake, you're gonna ruin that Uncharted juggernaut you got going." And I laughed, and Abrams turned to him and he said, "What do you mean, Uncharted and Drake?" And he said, "Oh, he's Nathan Drake in this game called Uncharted." And he looked at me and he said, "What does he mean you're Nathan Drake in Uncharted?" And I looked at him and I was like, "I don't know how else to say that." and he laughed and he said, "Oh, I'm a huge fan. My son and I play. It's a great..." And it just kind of went from there. And we ended up calling his son, who... if he ever sees the Henry, thank you, because it was because of his son that I got into Star Trek. We started talking, and Bruce Greenwood, who's Batman and Young Justice when I was Superboy.
Yeah. Pound it out.
Yeah, he'll get pounded out later. He said, "Oh, Nolan," and we called this now. We had just talked about the motion capture and how that all. And he said, he said, I owe you big. I said, "Oh, just throw me on the Enterprise with Greenwood and we'll call it even," because I had told him we had known each other. And he looked at me, and I remember he said, "Hey, you want to be in the movie? You want to be in Star Trek?" And I thought it was like I was being punked. I was like, "Well, I'd love to read for something." He goes, No, I know you got it. Well, find your spot. And that was it, and it was a few months later. I remember my agents at the time were like, "Oh, we just got a call from J.J. Abrams' office, and I think it's a mistake, but they want you for the movie." It's not a mistake! It's not. This is a phone. It's not a mistake. Hold on. See? That's improv classes. This is not a phone. This is the fist. This is the phone. And this...
How did you get this Deadpool? I don't know.
I don't know. It's a flip phone.
The other big thing that happened while in your absence here, this game got announced called Batman Arkham Origins. One of the screenshots has the Penguin in it. You played the Penguin in Arkham City.
Yes.
Now, Detective Cap on, it seems like it would be a no-brainer that you're playing the Penguin again. However, they've recast the Joker, they've recast Batman, and that's all we know yet so far. That Troy Baker weaseling his way into pro.
I think Troy Baker is the Penguin.
You think so, huh? He's doing all the villains.
He's doing the Penguin, the Joker, Batman. He's in every game. I mean, these guys, they, I just, one day.
Your time's going to come where you're in some games, too.
You know, I just want to do something.
That Dark Void franchise is going to take off.
I'm really hoping I can put the jetpack on.
Yeah.
and take it to another level. No, I don't know. There's so many Batman games going on.
Yeah.
And I just do so many games. I don't know what's next for me. I'm going to be doing The View, the game, as Barbara Walters.
As Barbara Walters?
Yeah, bringing her back.
You can give us your Barbara Walters to end the interview.
Oh no, I actually don't have a Barbara Walters. I do it like this because I can. I don't think it sounds like her.
No, that doesn't sound anything like her.
But they want me in the game, so I was like, hey, as long as I get free reign. It was actually this homeless guy in New York, 59th and Columbus, that used to have diarrhea on the 6th train.
He's doing Barbara Walters?
No, I'm doing him as Barbara Walters.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, for the game view. I'm also going to double Alex Trebek for Jeopardy. I'm going to be hosting that.
As the diarrhea guy as well?
No, I'm actually going to be one of the hosts for Jeopardy.
Give me that. How you going to announce that?
No, that's not announced.
Huh?
No, it's not an announcement. It's just I'm actually there with Alex, shadowing him.
But you're not talking. Ladies and gentlemen, Deadpool comes out June 25th. Nolan, thank you as always. That's our show, everybody. A huge thank you to Brian Altano, Anthony Gallegos, may he rest in peace, Nolan North, and you, my audience. If you want to be in that audience, go to ign.com/up@noon for details. As always, Brian and I will be responding to comments. The first hour of this video is live on IGN, so bring some of your green herb, and we can try not to get arrested because the cops are everywhere, man. That's why you gotta ask a cop, are you a cop? And he has to tell you Resident Evil has green herbs, because that's the law. You're not even trying anymore, Brian. We'll be back next week, but until then, I'm going back to bed. AshleyJohnson.com.